Hi YouTube, it's Doug in the North again. I'm standing out here on a beautiful day after feeling the effects of the hurricane in Texas the last couple days. And I'm out here with my assistant. This is Kichi. He's keeping an eye on what I'm doing. So I'm going to go through quickly my final installation of the prototype. What I've got here, my bubbler and my reaction unit. For the prototype, I've just got them strapped to the steel bar across here. The grill fits over top of it and actually squeezes this in nice and snug so it doesn't rattle around. You can see my wires coming off. Tube goes in from the reactor chamber, goes in the bottom of the bubbler out the top, and then it comes over. There's a convenient spot down beside the battery where it can come through, and I followed it up and into the two main intake tubes. Now on my last video I said I was going to hook them up to both, and I had. You can see the T there I've got capped off. The problem I run into was there is so much vacuum coming through that line it collapsed this little tube. I could have gone with a stronger tube so it wouldn't have collapsed, a reinforced one, but I figured that it's drawing that much, it may possibly tend to draw the liquid out of the unit and into the engine. And I didn't want to do that. Even though I've got an air gap in the bubbler, I didn't want to take that risk. And I couldn't see why I really needed that. So by putting it in like that, I'll show you here on a piece of paper. So there's your tube, or your air intake. Your air is coming in from the air box, and I've got the tube in here, and I've got them about 3/4 of the way down, so there's a third of the space there, and the air is coming this way and goes around it. Now I've cut the end of the tube on a bit of an angle like that so it comes down, and what I'm planning on doing, I got thinking about old carburetors and that, and the Venturi system works in there. So here's your air coming in this way from your air filter. There's the tube I've got going in. Now this air has to go around the tube you've got jutting down into the air intake. So what that does is it causes a little vortex in here to help draw out the gas that you're pumping in, and that is variant with the amount of air you want to pull into the engine by opening the butterflies in the throttle body. So I figure that's probably the most effective route. I don't know what it's going to do to my computer system yet. As of yet it hasn't been started with this system on, but that's the reasoning I went and did that. I didn't, at least in my mind, I couldn't figure out how I needed the extra vacuum. But I guess time will tell. We'll see. How I've got it wired, like I was telling you, I found that little relay in the garage. So I've got this wire. I know the colors are a little confusing because I got 2 reds, 2 blacks. This is from the switch inside the truck, and the other side of the relay goes to ground. So when you put the power on there, it pulls the relay down. And then I got my high voltage side, which is fused presently at 20 amps through this little guy here, and this red wire goes down to my reactor chamber. So I've got it fused here, and so that's sort of a fail-safe. This is a fail-safe. And on the back of my chamber, you may have noticed this ugly little thing on the back here. On the original way that it says, this was the in for the water when this was used as a filter housing. But what I've got is this fitting here, full of a light coating of wax with this cap to support it a little bit, but the cap has got a hole in it, and there's a little supporting plate with a hole in it just to stop it from falling out on its own, because it's not likely to adhere to the plastic very well. But what this will do is, in the case of a blowout, that should operate as a a fail-safe check valve and just blow the pressure straight out. Because presently I haven't got a check valve in the system. I haven't found one that I felt was suitable. But now we'll go in to the truck and I'll show you what I've got in there. This switch wire comes right over the motor and then down beside, just under this hydraulic clutch container, I drilled a hole in the firewall just big enough to get the wire through. So there's not a big problem with air leak. Now in the cab, I've got this, which I had a little fun with. I've got from the fuse panel, it's fused at 15 amps. Then I have this little 10 amp pull breaker, so you can use it as a switch or a breaker in case of a failure of some sort. So that's on. And then I got one of these fancy toggles in my shop. I put that on. And if I turn the key on, that energizes the control unit. And I flip the switch, I got this kinky little light. I don't know if you can see that, comes on, it says fire. I thought that was kind of cool. I had it laying around. Something to do. I'm a little weird that way. But anyway, that's my prototype installation. And we're not sure how this will do. If it'll damage the motor, or I'm still testing all these theories. They sound good, but I guess we'll see. This will probably be my last video for a while I go through the testing. I've got a full tank of fuel in it, and I'll set the tripometer, and we'll see what kind of mileage we get. And if it doesn't work or it blows up my engine, it was his bird-brained idea in the first place. We'll talk to you later, YouTube.